Millions of people are diagnosed with cancer every year. Most of us will lose their hair. My name is Laura, and I'm a breast cancer survivor. I've just completed my 4th round of chemotherapy and have 2 more to go. Many women describe losing their hair as a very traumatic event. That's why I'm making this video, to help women look at hair loss a little differently and maybe even have some fun with it. Your oncologist can help you estimate when you're going to have hair loss based on your chemotherapy regimen. Mine was predicted to fall out 2 weeks after my first round, and they were right on target. If you're going to buy a wig, I recommend you do it before you lose your hair. Make wig shopping a fun event. Take a crazy fun friend or a family member. In my case, I took my daughters. We armed ourselves with a camera and one goal. That was to try on a wig of every color, every length, just for fun. We named each look after a movie star and took pictures of the entire process. We had a red Raquel Welch, a sassy blonde Bridget Bardot, a bleach blonde Barbie, and a spiky Joan Jett. We even had fun with the hair netting that you fit under the wigs, calling it my robber's cap. Ultimately, I chose 2 wigs, one closer to my natural brown hair color, although it was a very different style, and the other one a red sassy one that I had just because it made me feel good in it. Remember, you don't have to match what you had before. Have some fun with it. I then assembled a web gallery of all the wig pictures and emailed them to my friends, asking them to vote on their favorite wig. I timed it to where the wig votes would be coming in about the time I was going to be actually losing my hair. This gave me lots of laughs because my friends really enjoyed this process and gave me lots of great funny comments to go on. A few days prior to your predicted hair loss date, you'll want to cut your hair down to 1/4 inch. Don't shave it all the way to your scalp because that can increase the risk of skin infections. The reason you want to do this is it's much less dramatic to lose 1/4 inch hair than clumps of longer hair. A friend went with me to cut my hair, and we had so much fun going through the wild, crazy stages where we ultimately ended up with a buzz cut that I dubbed my Sinead O'Connor look. Your scalp will become very tender a few days prior to you actually losing your hair, so you'll have plenty of warning. The day I lost my hair, I had jumped into the shower and was shampooing my head, and when I brought my hands down, I realized they were completely covered in hair, and it seemed like there was just a wave of panic that overtook me that said, "Oh my gosh, you're losing your hair." But then I realized, well, duh, of course I'm losing my hair. I was supposed to lose my hair. That's why I cut my hair down to 1/4 inch. That's why I bought 2 wigs. But still, it was a little shocking seeing how much hair loss I had. Fortunately, I was actually out of town at a hotel when this happened. That poor maid, she had to wonder what in the world was going on in that room every day to see this hair everywhere. I highly recommend going to a hotel if you can during that event because it was such a huge relief to not have to clean up my hair. I wear my wigs primarily at work or on special occasions. Most of the time I wear a hat, scarf, or a turban. If you're going to wear a hat, you'll want to wear a headband with it. That way it covers up the space between your ear and the brim of the hat. There are many different styles of turbans. The ones I prefer fit very well, they don't move around, and they're very, very comfortable. When you're wearing a headdress, small things make a big difference. Large hoop earrings go a long way. Also, get a makeover. Suddenly, certain features stand out a whole lot more than they did before, and you'll want to make the most of them. Some people will lose their eyebrows and their eyelashes. Miraculously, I've kept mine. But if you do, there are brow stencils that help you draw a nice brow and make it easier to shape. More and more, I run around completely bald. My first bald outing was actually to an exercise class. I had tried exercising with the turban the week before, and it was hot and such a pain, I just decided I'd had enough. What I've discovered is that if I'm comfortable with how I look, the other people are comfortable with it, and it becomes very easy to do. It's been a very positive experience. In fact, my family's so used to seeing me bald that when I got the crazy idea to pose as a mannequin and I brought a mannequin home to the house, they all walked into the room and would think it was me. We really have had a lot of fun with this. We even had a wig party where my daughters had some friends over to the house. We got out the wigs and they all tried them on and we took pictures of them posing. It was a great experience and just another way to be lighthearted. In fact, the dads and even a brother got in on the action. The most important lesson I thought they learned that day was that losing your hair can be a positive experience. Remember, you don't have control over you losing your hair, but you do have control over how it affects you. I think it's times like this that people see your depth of character, your spirit, and your faith. At least that's what I hope they see in me. So when you look in the mirror, I hope you see in you your determination, your courage, and most of all, the fact that you are a survivor.